Hi and welcome to Cooking with Chef Bryan, where I put you in charge of the food you eat. Today I've got the perfect summertime party meal for you. My signature cheesy burgers, grilled cheese, cheese chips, man, I've gone crazy with cheese, plus a delicious twist on a potato salad. Mix this up and your friends and family are going to love it. So let's get started with the potato salad. I'm going to be using the Klondike rose potato today, and the reason for that is it has a very thin skin on it, has a beautiful buttery creamy center to it, and it's perfect for potato salad. And best of all, I don't have to peel it. It's a great time-saving technique. So when you cut a potato, what you want to do is first of all square it off. So you're going to cut one side, you're going to roll that to the side that you just cut so it's flat on your cutting board, cut the other side, cut the next side, and finally the last side. This is called squaring off a potato. And that's very important because now it's very stable on the cutting board. So now I'm going to cut this into large, thicker slices, and this is going to depend on how big you dice your potatoes. So if you like a really large dice, just cut them really large. So let's cut that in half there. And now all I'm going to do is to cut this right into a dice. And so see, now you have these great, beautifully diced potatoes that are perfect for the potato salad. Now you don't have to have these perfectly cut because the rustic look is great, but I do just tell people always make them nice and uniform because that is actually going to allow them to cook a little more evenly. Now whenever you cook a potato, and I'm putting them here in cold water, the reason for that is whenever you cook a root vegetable like a potato, you always want them to start off in cold water. The reason for that is they'll all start at the same temperature and then they all come up and cook evenly. So that's important. So carrots, beets, potatoes, any of those, always start them off in a nice pot of cold water. So let's do a couple of others here. There we go. We'll get those into the pot. Let's do one more here. Another reason why I like to have them all uniform like this, I actually put the eggs right in with them to cook, and so that's kind of another time-saving technique that I like to do. So let's cut this one in half, and once more in half, and let's just dice that up. So if you have a nice uniform cut, you can actually save a lot of time in the cooking process. So let's put those into the pot, and then I have some eggs here that I'm going to add right in there as well. Great time saving. If you have larger pieces of potato in there, when you start to boil them, you may need to wait a little bit before you put the actual eggs in there. Some people actually like to boil the whole potato first. The whole reason I like to cut them when they're raw, I get a nice, clean cut. And that's really important to me so they have a nice shape to them. But if you're one of those persons that likes to boil them whole and then cut them after, it's up to you. Gauge the time accordingly. So let's just get these started. Simply put all of the potatoes and the eggs in the pot, bring it to a boil, let it cook for about 10 minutes or until the potatoes are done. Just simply stick a fork into them. They should be fairly al dente. Depending on how large or small you cut, that will determine the cooking time on the stove, and you may need to adjust that for your eggs as well. Once it's done, strain it into the refrigerator, make sure everything's cold, and let's bring it back to mix with the mayo. One of the most important things when you're making potato salad, and I know I kind of sound like a broken record, but is food safety. That's the number one thing that people get sick from is potato salad, believe it or not. So what you always want to make sure is that everything is cold before you mix the mayonnaise in there. So plan it ahead and mix the mayonnaise or chill off your potatoes and your eggs before you mix in that mayonnaise. So I am just chopping up the eggs. I'm going to add them right into my potato salad here. I like the eggs to be a little bit larger pieces, so I know what they are when I bite into it. I have the Klondike rose potato in there already. I feel like just putting a little salt and pepper on one of these eggs and just eating it. There are a lot of variations out there as far as how to make your own potato salad, so you can really do it however you want to. This is just how I like to do it. So once we get all of these eggs chopped up, we're going to start to add in our flavoring, and I'm so excited to show you kind of a cheesy version of this potato salad today. So all I'm going to do, add in, this is just a sharp cheddar cheese, thanks to my friends at Tillamook. They actually provided all the cheese that I'm using today, and it's delicious. It's one of my favorite cheeses that I use, so look for it in your grocery store for sure. So there goes the sharp cheddar cheese. Here is some green onions, I like to add a little bit of celery to my potato salad for crunch. Remember, texture is hugely important, so let's add some celery right into there. I'm going to add some Worcestershire sauce in there. This is kind of my little secret ingredient. People are always like, what does this taste like? What is this I'm tasting? Well, it's probably the Worcestershire sauce. It's my little secret ingredient. Now, you all know what it is as well. Once again, I like to use Dijon mustard when I cook with things because I like the flavor of it. You can use just a classic yellow if you want to, but if you've never tried Dijon, you should try it because I think you'll be really pleasantly surprised. A little bit of pepper, and a little bit of salt, of course, is going to be up to your own dietary needs, so add as much or as little as you want. And here's another one of my key ingredients, celery seeds, believe it or not. So just add those in. A little goes a long ways on celery seeds, so don't add too many of them. And I like to use mayonnaise in my dressing or in my potato salad. I know a lot of people prefer salad dressing, but you can certainly use whichever you want to. Well, everything is cold in here, so all you're going to do is just simply mix this together. Once you get it all mixed together, cover it up, send it right back to the fridge, let everything be nice and cold. Don't ever take a warm potato salad to an event because, oh man, if you've ever had food poisoning, you don't ever want it again. So keep everything cold. That's very important. So you can see how beautiful that is. A lot of textures, a lot of sizes, a lot of shapes, and that is just perfect for a potato salad. Delicious. Potato salads are generally best if made the day ahead, believe it or not. It gives all the flavors a chance to combine together. All right, so this now I'll just simply put back into the refrigerator. I'm just going to set it aside, and I want to show you one other fun little tip that I'm going to do really quick here. Have you ever heard of cheese crisps? Well, cheese crisps are kind of really a different thing to do rather than potato chips. So I'm using the Tillamook cheese once again, just a nice sharp or medium cheddar. This is a Silpat. If you're not familiar with them, it's a food grade silicone that has been wrapped around a fiberglass mesh screen in there, and so it's very wonderful and nothing sticks to it. Okay, so I'm just going to take some shredded cheese and I'm going to put it in mounds like you would cookies, and then you just simply take this and you put it into the oven for about 10 minutes and let that cheese crisp up. That looks fantastic. Gauge how big they are because they may melt together. So I'm going to keep working on this, so stick around. I've got a lot more to show you on this wonderful summertime party meal. Special thanks to Mountain Land Design for making this segment possible. At Mountain Land Design showrooms in Salt Lake, Provo, and Layton, we specialize in providing the best selection of appliances, plumbing, and hardware. If you are building or remodeling, you need to come in and see our unique showroom for ideas, as well as the latest products for your kitchen and bathroom. If you are looking for a great value, we also feature a clearance center at our Salt Lake location. See for yourself how our specialized and friendly staff can help you. Visit our locations and website for more information. Hi everyone, I'm here at Harmon Shopping today, and I'm curious, have you ever tasted a recipe that you're like, what is that flavor in it? Well, today that flavor is going to be Worcestershire sauce. And I just simply look for the store brand or the generic one that may be on sale, and this is going to work out great for our recipes today. If you want an extraordinary flavor for your burgers or even your potato salad, rather than using just a regular yellow mustard, try going for a Dijon mustard. It makes a huge difference, and I just buy the store brands. Dijon it is today. I really love coming and shopping here in the produce section because you have so many gorgeous colors and shapes and textures and tastes. I love it. But for the hamburger, what I actually need are some onions. And if you're not going to cook the onion, you're going to eat it raw, just simply go for a red onion. It's a very sweet onion. It's very mellow, and it's going to give a great color to that burger. When you pick them out, just look for one that's nice and firm, no blemishes on it. This one looks beautiful. How shiny it is. Perfect. That'll be a great burger. Wow, check out all of these great mushrooms. You really can use any in the burgers, but for me, I'm going to use our little white button mushrooms. And what you want to do is just look through, make sure they're nice and clean, there's no blemishes on them, and that package looks great. Look how beautiful this kale is. And honestly, this makes a great lettuce, believe it or not, on your hamburger. So if you don't want a regular lettuce, use kale. Well, I'm here in the tomato section, and just like most of you, I even carry my shopping list around with me as well. When you pick out a tomato for a hamburger, what you want to think about is the height of the hamburger finished product, actually. If you buy the Roma tomatoes here, you have to add several slices onto your hamburger, and so it adds in that height. It's a little more difficult to bite down on. What I actually like to do is come over to these giant beefsteak tomatoes, and these are the ones I like to use because one slice is going to fit on my hamburger, and it's not going to add that much extra height to it, so it's a little easier to bite down onto. So the way I like to pick out a tomato, give it a squeeze. It should be nice and firm, and this beautiful red color. This one looks perfect. Getting to know the meat department or the butcher in your grocery store is crucial for something as simple as hamburger. Here at Harmon's, I even asked him, is there any of that pink slime, as we all know it today, in your hamburger? And they said, absolutely not. So that's important. Get to know your meat department, get to know the people that work in it, so that you know you have the highest quality possible. And this is perfect ground beef here. I like to get the 85% lean. It has just enough fat in there that it gives it a wonderful flavor, but not so much that when I render it down, all I'm left with was fat, so this will do great. For my cheesy hamburgers, I really do have a secret ingredient. It's a 100-year-old recipe in this right here. Tillamook cheese. I love to put Tillamook cheese in my cheesy burgers. And my favorite is this one right there, that sharp cheddar cheese. Heavens, you could even go with this one right here. That extra sharp if you wanted to. I love the flavor. Either way, this is what I'm getting, and they're gonna go into our cheesy burgers as well as our potato salad, and I'm gonna show you how to do some fun cheese crisps out of the Tillamook cheese today. You can find all of these complete recipes on my website, cookingwithchefbryan.com. Well, the cheese crisps are ready to go. Let's just pull those out of the oven. Oh, those look fantastic. Now don't worry that they look really soft and mushy right now. You just simply let them cool on that Silpat, and they will harden up, and you can peel them right off of there. So there are our cheese crisps. The hamburger is one of those things that makes or breaks any picnic. Now I've got a great way to put all of this wonderful meat together here. So I like to add in several different things. So here's some mushrooms. And when you have a mushroom, what you want to make sure is just right here at the base, you always want to just kind of cut that right off because that's the old part and it's kind of stale and hard. So just snip that off to reveal a nice fresh part of the mushroom. So let's just do these both together. I've chopped that one already. Let's just mince them up. And you don't want these to be too fine. Just chop them up so that you've got some nice texture when it comes to it. There we go. Let's just add our mushroom right into our hamburger. So there's that. I have some chopped up onion already, and I just used a regular yellow onion. You can use a red onion or a white onion. Just use what you got at home, and it'll make them great. Put those right into it. I also have some minced up garlic, and garlic is one of those things that everybody loves, and so you can put a lot in, or if you're one of the anomaly that doesn't like garlic, well, you can put a little in then. How's that? Just add that into there. Of course, I am going to use a little bit of salt and pepper. Salt and pepper is up to your diet, so add in as much or as little as you need to based on your diet. And do you remember in my potato salad, I was showing you my secret ingredient was the Worcestershire sauce? Well, I'm adding it right into here as well. And last but not least, here's another great tip. Cheese. We're going to mix it right in with the hamburgers. Once you get all of the hamburger completely mixed together, that looks great. You're just going to take it and start to shape it into patties. And you know, making patties is kind of fun because there's a lot of different ways you can do it. And I was doing a cooking seminar with some firemen, believe it or not, who actually taught me a pretty cool trick about making patties. That one looks good. Let's put that one right on our grill. And this is what they taught me. If you have a larger hamburger patty, when you pat it out, what you do is put a little hole right in the center, and that helps it to cook more evenly all the way around. So you've got a more cooked through patty. So whether it works or not, it was sure fun, and the hamburgers were delicious. You can make these the day in advance. You just put them on a baking sheet, cover them, put them right into the refrigerator, and take to your party. Well, it's a beautiful weekend and it's great for grilling for Memorial Day. I've got the hamburgers out here with the wonderful Tillamook cheese in it. And I want to give you a couple of tips with your grill really quick so you have a successful grilling experience. First of all, always preheat your grill. Never use a cold grill when you're putting meat on it because it's going to stick and it just takes forever to cook. So always preheat it. When the hood is down, it's like an oven in there. So remember that. You can actually use your grill as an oven. A lot of them have thermostats on them, some of them don't, but just keep in mind when that hood is down, you're heating that up just like an oven. Inside of the grill, you have your burners down underneath, and when people talk about direct or indirect heat, this is exactly what it means. Direct heat means the flame is lit and it's right underneath the food. Indirect heat means the flame isn't lit, but it is on the other side. And so you have a direct heat over here, no flame lit on the other side of the grill, so indirect heat. So that's what that means when I talk about that. But when I do my cheesy Tillamook hamburgers here, I want to really have direct heat. I want that heat right underneath those hamburgers. And this is good and hot, so let's just start cooking these. Can you hear that? Can you hear that sizzle? That's exactly what I want to hear when you put that onto a grill. Well, the hamburgers are cooking, and if some people don't really want a hamburger, or if you have kids and things like that, rather than doing hot dogs, here's a great idea for you. It's a grilled cheese sandwich. So first of all, we're going to cook with indirect heat. So that means I'm going to turn the heat off of one side of the grill. It's good and hot, don't worry about that, but that's where we're going to put our grilled cheese. The way that I build this grilled cheese, just simply take a couple of slices of bread. Oh, Sage, get your nose out of it. And then we're just going to put that right on the bread. Grab that last piece of cheese. So I have two ready to go here. And one thing when you do it in the house, generally you put some type of butter or fat on the outside to brown it. Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do on the grill. But never spray it on the grill because then you might have a light up fire. Just give it a little spray on the outside of there. We're going to put that right down on the grill. We're going to let these cook, and then we're going to have some great hamburgers and grilled cheese sandwiches. Well, everything is ready here. I'm just going to start building these hamburgers here. I've grilled off and toasted those buns. Oh, these hamburgers are going to just taste great with some wonderful Tillamook cheese. We've got our cheese crisps all done. I'm grilling up some hamburgers. Stick around, I've got a lot more to finish up this great summertime party meal. Special thanks to our friends at Klondike Potatoes for helping to make this segment possible. Hi everyone, Chef Bryan cooking fresh with Klondike brand potatoes. And you all know that there's nothing more important than a good breakfast, and the secret to any great morning are Klondike potatoes. I invite you to visit KlondikeBrands.com for great recipe ideas, cooking tips, and money-saving coupons, including this amazingly simple breakfast skillet that is sure to get your family off to a great start. Klondike brand potatoes, cook fresh in your kitchen. Well, I'm back at the store now because I want to grab some ice cream. Ice cream's a great dessert because it's simple, you don't have to spend hours in the kitchen making anything, and really you can add anything with ice cream. I'm going to put it with root beer and make some wonderful root beer floats, but you can grab toppings as well, some caramel, some chocolate, and make sundaes. So ice cream's very versatile. Everybody loves it, including the kids. Tillamook has so many different flavors. I'm just going to go with a great standard that I really enjoy, a vanilla bean ice cream. It goes great with the root beer floats as well as any chocolate, caramel, or fruit topping. It's perfect. So I'm just going to grab this one. I'm going to get it back to the freezer so it doesn't melt. So let's go have some more fun and finish up this great holiday weekend dinner. You can find all of these complete recipes on my website, cookingwithchefbryan.com. Everybody likes a good dipping sauce to go along with everything at a party, so I'm going to show you how to do 3 really fun, quick, and easy dipping sauce. Now I have some reduced balsamic vinegar right here already, but all I did to get this is you just take some balsamic vinegar, pour it right into a pan, put it on the stove, bring it to a boil, and let it reduce by half, and that's all you need to do. cool it off, and as it cools, it's going to really thicken up. If you notice that you got it a little too much reduced, well, just add a little bit of water to it and it will re-liquefy pretty easily. So don't worry about that. So that's the really first dip I'm going to show you how to make. So I just have some regular ketchup, and to this I'm going to add some reduced balsamic vinegar. Now you can put a little or you can put a lot into it, but however much you decide to put into it, it is still going to just be fantastic. So just simply mix that together, and you've got a balsamic ketchup dip. But it's going to be different. It's not just regular balsamic vinegar. It's going to have a much sweeter flavor to it because we reduced it. Mix it all together. And notice that beautiful, deep, rich color. That's going to be a delicious dipping sauce. So let's just set that one right there out of the way. I do like to use new spoons every time because then you don't have one going into the other and the other. I'm just going to make a simple garlic ketchup here, and to do that, just use some granulated garlic and add it right into it. And we're going to mix that together and have a garlic ketchup sauce to dip in. So there's one. We'll set that one aside. And then this last one, of course, here in Utah, we're famous for this particular sauce. If you haven't heard of it, it's called a fry sauce, but I'm going to show you my rendition of it. A little bit of ketchup, and I'm going to add some mayonnaise into it. And to this, I'm also going to add a little bit of some spices. So in here, I have some paprika and I have some dill, and these are two of my very favorite spices. So I'm just going to add that directly into there, and we're going to mix that together. And you can use any combination of spices that you want to with this. You see how that just is turning into a wonderful looking fry sauce. Or Thousand Island, put a little bit of relish in there to turn it into a Thousand Island dressing. Well, there we have them. Oh, seriously, they're beautiful. Our wonderful fry sauce, our garlic ketchup, and our reduced balsamic vinegar dips, they're perfect. Anybody's going to love them at your party. And one thing, don't forget, I've got it right here. Get your condiment plate together. You can make this well in advance and actually just cover it and put it in the refrigerator. So we're ready to go. The last thing any summertime party meal needs is ice cream. I've got some great Tillamook ice cream coming up. You won't want to miss it. Join me here in just a minute. Special thanks to Tillamook Cheese for helping to make this show possible.
For delicious homemade pizza, use Rhodes White Dinner Roll frozen dough. Just thaw, shape, top, and bake.
Simple things that make life better. Rhodes Bake and Serve.
Well, all we have left to do is to put our wonderful party meal together. And so I've just toasted off some of the buns here, which is very easy to do. You just put it right on the grill. Let's take one of our burgers here. Just scoop it right onto there. The condiments are all ready. A little bit of tomatoes. Let's put some lettuce on there. Oh, that looks great. I'm going to tell you right now, I love onions, so I'm just going to put a big old slice of onion onto there. And let's take some of our dipping sauces that we made earlier. I'm going to use one and just put right on the top of the bun. Delicious hamburger there. And let's put this in our little hamburger baskets. And I wanted to show you the cheese crisps. Here you go. Look how absolutely thin those are, and they're yummy. As can be, everybody's going to love it. I'm going to add a little bit of potato salad into there, and we've got a delicious little meal. Well, one last thing, dessert. One of my favorite desserts, root beer floats. I'm going to use some delicious Tillamook vanilla ice cream here, some great homemade root beer. Oh, it's going to be perfect. The perfect meal with so many varieties of ice cream from Tillamook. You can't go wrong. Well, it's been a pleasure cooking this party time meal with all of you out there. I can't wait for you to try this, and I'm going to invite all of the crew in to enjoy this one with me. Come on, guys. Come have some great hamburgers, cheese. I'm going to make a root beer float for me. Don't forget, thank you so much to our sponsors, Tillamook Cheese today, Klondike Potatoes, Macy's Department Store, Mountain Land Design, and Gagano Appliances for helping to make this show possible. I'll see you all next time.